All right, and we are live. Welcome to Shower Beers.
Woo!
I'm
We're
Dave.
alive!
We're
alive!
Just in case you thought we were dead. I'm Dave. This is Oliver, Summer, and our guest today, Courtney Fry. Middle name Marie.
Yeah.
Birth date August 24th.
Social Security number.
Please.
But yeah, no, I thought that we were all probably possibly dead after Friday night. So
A little bit.
Yeah.
there was like a period of time where
I was
medically
worried.
I might have been. Oh yeah.
I was worried.
Courtney kept on messaging Dave, or no, calling Dave. Like, where are you? And just like, we were.
Well, he didn't answer at first, so I'm like, well.
Oh yeah, and I got a message from Courtney, and this was very late. This is like after bar close.
Well,
But Dave
Oh
and I-
my
It
god!
was 2:30.
Are you talking about Friday?
Yeah, 2:30.
What
No,
are
like
you
it was
doing?
after bar close, and I didn't ask Dave, but I told him we're going to Quick Star,
Oh, okay.
and we got food, and
And
then
you didn't get me food. I was so mad.
Oh my god!
He comes home. I'm like, you have food?
Yeah, that's the only reason she wanted me to come home. She,
Yes.
I
she
know.
wasn't really worried about me. She's like, he's going to have food.
What kind of provider are you?
oh, that reminds us. So,
Insurance?
Oh,
for people who haven't picked up on it yet,
You got to submit a lot of documents.
for people who haven't picked up on it yet, Courtney is Dave's wonderful girlfriend.
She
Uh,
puts up with a lot.
Yeah, she
I didn't
that
even bring her food on Friday night.
Yeah.
right. No,
At
after
3 in the morning. Let's clarify.
after
That's true.
Dave's set on Friday night, I said, "Give it up for Dave's girlfriend for putting up with him."
Yeah.
that was good.
That was a fun show. That
It
was
was
a
a really good
really.
show.
I think everything clicked. Like there were no hiccups. Everything went
Yeah,
smoothly.
for everybody, it was the August 9th show, which is kind of dating this episode, but we were we've been talking about that show for the past like since we started the
Oh,
program,
there's
quite a
because
few
we've been looking
episodes.
forward to it. But yeah, it went off without a hitch. It made money. Everyone had good shows. No bad things happened. Yeah, no rude
No.
audience members. No.
The audience was very friendly.
No,
They were
I mean,
good.
Very, very friendly, and we had no sound. You know, like
No sound issues.
sound issues with
That's
wireless
crazy.
mics. It can always be an issue, but
you let me know that the music was still playing during part of my set. Like it was just like really quietly. Like they
Yeah.
turned it down instead of off. So like.
I kind of at
Oh,
first I couldn't
oh.
notice it because like it was loud in there,
Well-
and then I heard it and I was like, that's got to go. It's a little distracting.
And they did end up.
I just told them to turn it off, and then they turned it off.
Right, because I had no
Yeah.
idea during my set, and if I couldn't tell while I was up there, and like a lot of other people couldn't really tell
Right.
either. But yeah, just like 1% is still a lot more than zero. The difference between 1% and zero is like the
Right.
difference between 1% and 100%. Honestly,
Yeah. I know the first show that was there, I was sitting in the very back corner and the TV was like on very low and I was like, can you guys please turn it off? And like it was still like early in the game, so those people didn't know how to turn off the TV volume that they said.
oh yeah. A lot of the
So I'm glad
employees
they've
there
grown.
are younger or newer, like just
Right.
in general, because it's a new spot.
They'll get it
Cooper's
figured
Tap
out.
Room, another good spot.
So
though.
good.
Yeah.
So
We
Yeah,
had
absolutely.
pork tenderloins.
Yeah,
Dave and I
that
did
was
before the show.
Fantastic.
Neither of us finished our tenderloins.
No.
I don't think.
No,
No,
I couldn't even
that's
finish
unbelievable.
my
No. No, but between like
I was more worried about possibly shitting my pants
Oh.
or having to go like
That's-
right
that's
before I go up
considerate
because I'm
of
like
you.
once summer gets on, like I can't. 'Cause,
That's
like it's not
Yeah, you
there's not
can't
enough
leave.
time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I went to the bat and I even panicked a little bit because I went to go pee quick.
No.
And the guy in there like didn't lock the door, so I opened these in there. I was like, God damn it! And then I closed the door again. I'm waiting there, and like the time from when I went on after you and got out of the bathroom was very small. And I was so
Oh,
worried. He was
right.
like, and he came out and he's like, "Oh hey man," and I was like, "What
No,
the fuck
I will say
were
the
you
lock
doing
was
in
being
there?"
finicky. I opened it on somebody accidentally that night, and then also somebody opened it on me after I was
overheard, yes.
sure that and
I think that they have a latch lock. I noticed.
they have.
that. I'm
I
wondering
should
that's
use
why.
the cat eye
Yeah.
latch lock.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's why they have that.
When I walked out of the bathroom, though, I like the guy that opened it, like to kind of just diffuse the awkward tension. I was like, I thought I only had to piss, but then you scared the shit out of me. and he was like old enough to where he's just like, that's a good one.
Ah, perfect.
That's funny.
I was just laughing because I told Mel Mackey she had an awesome set, and she was talking about how
Her boobs.
no, well that too, but she was talking about how girls always apologize to each other, and I'm like, that's so true. And so she was like, yeah, like I just went to the bathroom, and we're like, she says she comes out, I'm sorry, everyone's saying I'm sorry. And then I went to the bathroom right after her set, and the girl comes out. And she's like, "I'm sorry," and I'm like, "I'm sorry." And then we like looked at each other, and we're like, "Oh my god, we
It's
just."
just like
Oh,
No, no.
yes. So polite.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another thing. Mel Mackey, I said on like record, 2 comedians on a podcast are not like basically my favorite comedian in the state. Rock the House had a really great set.
Yeah, they did.
Drew from she's like from 2 hours away in Des Moines, and like not only did she draw people to the building, like she
Yes.
drew a crowd.
fan
She
club.
drew people in matching shirts who were there
Yeah,
as like
that
Yeah.
was cool. That was
Right,
really
yeah,
cool.
that-
It's
And
intimidating.
teachers too, to have like all your teachers from high school
Yeah,
come
no.
back.
That made me
It's
so
intimidating.
happy.
That was
I
so
love
cool.
those type of people. I love middle-aged mom age.
She had her
women
sex ed
so
teacher there. That
much.
was cool.
I didn't
Right.
know that.
Yeah, dude.
I would have asked her more questions.
Well, it was funny. She introduced everybody like that's my mom, that's my biology teacher, English teacher, that's my PE/sex ed/driver's ed.
Yes, which
like,
is true.
And like that is really
Oh.
it's usually the social studies who are like coaches, driver's ed, sex ed. Like there's always like something there, or the PE teachers.
Small
But
town stuff.
I thought you said PE teachers. That's like preschool. That's when they
teachers,
teach
PE
you
teachers.
how to pee and poop properly.
I mean,
Oh,
here's the
man.
thing: as anybody who's ever cleaned up a fucking public bathroom, you know that some people still need PE teachers.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
I tell you what, at my house, I sit down to pee every time, and I live alone. But like, how does the toilet get so dirty?
Because ladies are nastier than you think. You're like, how did everything get dirty? The call's coming from inside the house.
The call's coming
Yeah.
from inside the house. I'm like, Jordan has not spent the night.
No,
this
my-
month.
My
What's
toxic
going on?
trait. My toxic
This is all
trait
me.
is when I go to a public restroom. My toxic trait is when I'm done pissing, I set the seat back down in a male public restroom.
That is
Yeah.
so thank you.
I am
Thank
betraying
you
my
for that.
kind.
Thank
Don't,
you.
don't applaud me. I don't.
So it was you.
Yeah,
Courtney and I.
I don't accept
Yeah,
this.
I
Right.
appreciate
No.
that. DJ and I, we have separate.
Bud?
Oh, Bud could be here.
But DJ and I
It's
have
either Bud or
separate bathrooms,
Ghost.
so I love that.
Oh,
Could be. I hope it's a ghost.
oh. Sorry. That was so rude. We're all like,
Secret option C.
oh my god.
That's Bud. Other Bud.
Other Bud.
He's
I
our
don't know
bud.
him.
But yeah, no, like I realized, like, no, I had this conundrum, like when I was done pissing and I set the seat down and I was about to open up the door and I'm like, wait, should I put it back up for the next guy? Or like,
Put
no,
it up.
I was like sitting there, like, how am I this
If
awkward?
I ever go to the
Having this
bathroom,
thought process.
No, I'm having a panic attack alone in this men's restroom, just going, oh god, is the guy after me gonna want it up or down? Oh shit!
next time I go in the bathroom before you, I'm just gonna rip the seat off the toilet.
Good,
He's like,
good.
I'm
Take the
gonna
choice
stop
from
you
me.
in your tracks, Oliver.
Take the choice from me.
I was going to
Liberate
say,
me.
that'll help
Fr-
the anxiety.
This prison of my own making, Dave. Jesus.
Or I'll attach it, somehow get it attached to the tank in the back so you can't pull it down,
Oh.
but try as you might.
It has a child lock
Yeah.
on it.
Just like padlock it to it.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
Cool.
man.
Good
We
times.
should do bathroom reviews about every show.
yeah, no, bathroom reviews, toilet paper reviews. That's
I have
important.
something to say about bathrooms. Okay, you were saying you guys have separate bathrooms.
We do.
Yes.
Uh,
I love it.
that's what I would prefer as well.
Yes.
But so, do you guys know Megan Trainor? She's a singer songwriter.
Yeah.
Okay, Megan Trainor and her husband, who is Daryl Sabera, the kid from Spy Kids, which is pretty cool.
Now he's a man. He is no longer.
He's a
kid.
spy man. They have a spy
man.
baby, and they have spy
Boy, man,
toilets
spy.
right next to each other, so they just like can take a dump and be like,
I think
"I love you,
Oh
babe."
my god.
Oh.
Wait,
That's
what?
too much.
Tell me that again.
They
He's poop shy, so that would not
they
work.
have they have
I'm
a
not poop shy.
they
Yeah.
basically have a poop bench.
Poop
Dave.
They have a poop bench.
Where they can sit next to each other like Forrest
I'd be-
Gump.
You
and
wouldn't,
be
Lady
down
you
for
wouldn't be
that.
able to handle that. If
I
I
would
opened the
be able-
door to like
You would be
mess
trapped
with him,
in
he's
there.
like,
with
"Get out of
me.
here!"
I'm not gonna, I wouldn't have a problem with it. You would be disgusted and probably never talk to me again.
No,
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
true.
It could be true.
Have you guys not pooped in front of each other yet?
No.
He like refuses. I have,
Oh,
but like if I open
I don't
the
lock
door
the
to his
door.
bathroom, he's like, "Get out of here!"
that's
like,
me. I
freaks
get mad if
It is
Jordan
the
comes in
only
accidentally. I'm like,
time-
"Why you did this? It's not my fault for not locking the door. It was you."
It's the only time of day that I have to myself.
I guess.
It's not because they're wanting to gross her out. That's just a threat. It's not what
Yeah.
you're
Like you've taken
Oh my god.
30 seconds of my time.
Oh
That
my
is so-
god.
Well, no, because I used to be in a relationship, and granted, it wasn't as you guys are happy, but you guys are happy. But like
We
I
are?
remember, like when I was
Sometimes.
dating, that like the drive to and from work, that was a sacred time for me, where I would specifically
Yeah.
like I would just toss my phone into the passenger seat, so I couldn't even feel it vibrate.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, no one's taking this half hour of alone time.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
where I just get to chill to the radio and just worry about the cars around me, not the world around me for
Right.
a second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bathroom for me is just like a separate room from reality.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And
That's
which-
It's a safe haven. It's a
Nothing
portal.
outside of
really.
in my life exists in the bathroom.
but
So therefore, I have the time. It's me time, and it helps them pooping.
have you ever needed to use a restroom with somebody that you were living with, but they were in the shower, but you were like, bum, 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 can I come in? I gotta piss really quick, or have you been like, I'm sorry, man, but this is gonna be a dump. Like,
Right?
it can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, I've definitely done that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
part of
but-
bonding. Speaking of
You're not
bonding,
gonna-
it's nice to have another person on the podcast who's seen Dave's dick. So,
Yeah.
What?
Wait, not everyone on this podcast is.
Sneaky snake.
Look
if
into my eyes,
If a snake
Jungle
was like a sperm. Shower sperm.
dude, no, that's why I don't handle my business in the shower, because it gets like, well, that's two reasons. One, because of like the little like gooey consistency that it gets. No, because it's sticky, it's gross. They call them in the army, they call them desert jellies.
Oh, okay.
When you spunk
Put it on your
in the shower-
toes.
no, and apparently
I know. I don't like it.
because well in the military, and again, this is like stuff that I've gotten like secondhand. I have no
You
experience.
got a
But I've
desert
heard
jelly
that
secondhand.
like when you are in the army, the only privacy that you might have sometimes is in the shower. So like that's when you
Oh.
handle your business. So like then the drains get clogged
Yeah.
because if it coagulates, men's semen. It doesn't do it as bad in cold water, I hear, but like I'm not taking a cold shower.
it's really hard to
Yeah.
masturbate
Well, I also-
in cold water too.
Reason number two is I get Bambi legs. I get like Bambi
Ah.
learning how to walk. So, like,
Fall in the shower.
Aw.
I fall in the shower.
What a way to go!
and then
Oh my
like the
God.
MTs are gonna like, or the
EMTs.
the
yeah.
EMTs are gonna come.
Oh.
Like find me just like down in the shower, take me to the hospital while I still have a boner or something like that.
Yeah.
But,
I thought you said
As they're taking you away, they're like, "You guys see those desert jellies in there?"
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No,
You
like-
got a clogged drain here.
He
Uh,
died doing what he loved.
and then I'd hate to find out that I really like falling down and getting concussed while I do that, and then that's the only way that I can finish from now on.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I think that's already happened, hasn't it?
Maybe.
That's already the case.
No, but I've thought a lot about it.
Oh jeez.
I've just thought a lot about it.
Mm,
But yeah, no, the show this last Friday went really well.
yeah.
Everyone here on the show was on it. We also had a local boy that'll be on the program at some point in time, David Olson, on the show. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody hit their marks. Everybody did great. We made good money. And then we also, to supplement the income, I was just going to lead into, we had some Shower Beers stickers printed with myself, Summer, and oh goodness gracious,
I hold some.
yeah, myself, Summer, and Dave, and Dave can like edit in a picture right here,
Yeah.
here, and here, and here's me in those shorts again from
Yeah.
episode 5.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yay, summer.
We sell them for $2 a piece. That might be high for a sticker, but we use it to fund the podcast. So if you want just like a little token of our appreciation
Yeah.
for you helping support the podcast, stickers are on sale. Buy a whole set, or just right now I'm leading in the sales between the three of us by like 1 or 2 stickers.
They're collector's
They're
items.
so
I'm just
cool.
gonna
No,
buy
they
it.
are. They're little treasures as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
I
But no,
think. Should we offer a deal if you buy all three?
like
$5
$5 for
for
the
all
set.
three. You get
Oh,
$1
we
off.
should have thought of that like when we were selling them.
Yeah.
Because we
That's the only way mine are going to get sold.
limited supplies, obviously, but I don't. Also, limited people who probably want to buy them.
Next
Yeah. Limited demand is yeah.
We have a good supply and demand
Yeah.
of flow.
Yeah.
I think that is because it was our first time and we didn't have a good setup. Next time, I'm gonna have like a popcorn like like
Yeah,
have
you need to have a
straps and like a little
stand.
table
Yeah.
stand with the stickers.
Extra. Read all about it.
And also sell popcorn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And popcorn.
And, yeah.
You can only get popcorn if you buy a sticker first. That's the rule.
That reminds me of the old party thing where you would go to a
Holding the
kegger.
popcorn hostage.
I remember when you would go to like an old a party, like a house party where they would have a keg, and to get around, and I don't know if this is true or not, but like to get around laws of like selling fucking alcohol without a permit, what you would do is the alcohol was free, but to get access to the keg, you had to buy the cup. So
Oh,
you
yeah, I
would
know
buy
what
a
you're talking
cup
about. Oh, yeah.
for like
Mhm.
$5,
Yeah.
and then that would let you get beer all night. So that way you're not selling the alcohol.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
that's how you get away with some illegal things online. Is you're buying the box, whatever happens to be in it. That's not what you're buying.
Oh.
But like it's
I
heavily
haven't
applied.
experienced these illegal
Yeah,
online
I've never
what's in
done
the
that.
box sales.
I experienced something that felt illegal, but it wasn't. I think I was at the. We'll see.
Are you
I
about to
hope.
trauma
Just
dump on us right now?
think for 1 second here. Are you going to incriminate yourself?
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say.
not I. Not I. The lady at the stand. Yes.
Wait, so
What?
I was
paint
at
the
the-
picture.
I was at the Newton Raceway. It was for a Post Malone concert like a few
Oh,
weeks
yeah.
ago when it was 90 degrees every
After
weekend. And I just wanted a cup of ice because I had Gatorade and I had water. I just wanted a cup of ice. No stand would give you a cup of ice. You had to buy the $9
Oh.
soda drink
my
to get
gosh.
even a cup to put it in, and that was my
Wow.
fault for not knowing to come prepared. But it also felt illegal, and I feel like I've been something
Bamboozled.
Yeah.
bamboozled,
Yeah.
something.
I think you got bamboozled.
Thank you. I bought it. I was like, just give me the cup, please.
But yeah, don't buy illegal stuff.
Don't buy pop. I think that's what Summer was trying to say. Or sell pop. Or ice.
Something.
Or cups. I don't know. What part was that illegal about that?
Oh, it just felt fucked up.
It
just
felt,
felt
they just
dirty.
wouldn't
It
give
felt
me the cup.
criminal.
They just
Yeah,
wouldn't
they-
give me the cup.
They
was
had the
so
product, but they
hot.
wouldn't sell it.
It was so
They had the product, but they wouldn't sell
hot.
it without the drink.
Dude, it was insane. It was 90 degrees. People were like
It was way
passing
hotter.
out from like heat exhaustion. I had to like go into the bathroom at one point and like take like all my clothes off, and I'm like fanning myself like.
Oh, that's a mistake because putting them on.
Yeah, I was gonna
Putting
say,
them back
how did you
on.
get them back on? That sucks.
I stayed long enough that eventually it did become cooler, and so it was like easy to put
Putting on slimy, sweaty clothes after you
And
take them
bras.
off.
and the bra.
The bras.
Actually,
huh?
like yes, it was like the shirt, and it's super tight. And so
yeah.
the struggle
fun.
is real.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Was Post Malone worth it? I'm still not sure.
You'll find out at Post Malone.
You know, the funny thing is, I've only been to 2 concerts in my life, and both of them were like relatively recently. One was AJR, and one was Elton John.
Oh, wow.
Very nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Elton John's last tour ever, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road in
Oh,
Des Moines,
yeah.
Iowa, at the Wells Fargo Center.
Wow, that'd be
Yeah, no, my
awesome.
whole family went. My mom, my dad, my brother. And my dad, the funny thing is my dad bought his ticket late because he's kind of doing that, oh, I don't have to go, you know, it's extra, it's a lot of money, I can just stay home with the dog. And then but like leading up to it, he's like, I kind of want to go. So
Yeah.
my mom, my brother and I sat together, and my dad was just, he was there, but he was like,
Oh man.
but here's the thing, we
Was
all
with
had
another family?
we all had like, you know, I think that I was the farthest person away from Elton John in the entire fucking place. So
Oh.
so he was like only like a row or two ahead of us tops in a similar section. So like
Fair.
I could see him, you know, like pretending he doesn't have a family, having a lot of fun.
It'd be hilarious if he got like a first row ticket.
Right,
Hey,
right.
You guys are way back there.
Like Elton John brings him on stage.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do you know the words? And my
Yeah,
dad's
he's
just
like, normally I don't have a VIP section, but this guy wanted one, so
yeah, my dad like cashes out his 401k early for this.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I just paid $1 million.
Yeah, my
to hang
dad
out
doesn't
on
get to
stage.
retire because of the
Yeah.
Elton John concert.
Totally worth it.
But yeah, no, I've only been to 2 concerts, and I would say both were worth it. it's weird because concerts are a very fleeting thing. So like at the time, it's kind of like, oh, this is fun. But also like while I was at the Elton John one, I was like self-aware, like, oh, I better be having fun. This was a lot.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's
It's
definitely
like,
a thing.
oh,
at concerts. When you spend
I-
that much money, you're like,
I better be having a lot of fun right now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
oh gosh, yeah. So sometimes concerts are just expensive, and you put pressure on yourself to have fun.
Yes. For
And,
sure.
and like the whole time too, I adjusted my whole day's eating schedule. I'm like,
Yep,
I
yep.
better not have to shit when Elton is singing your
Yes,
song.
yeah, this is
Oh,
right.
that would
That
suck.
is the best song. I
That's my
wanted.
favorite.
Yeah.
Oh my god! In college, that was the only time I ever joined choir. Was in college for one semester.
Because they were going to sing your song by Elton John.
We had a Valentine's Day event that we were putting on the college, and you had to audition to be able to sing a solo. And he said, "Well, maybe next year." And that's the song I wanted to sing, and I was so sad.
Sorry.
You
Sonia.
can sing it whenever you want.
Moment of
Sing it
silence.
right now. Let's sing it right now.
Yeah, no. After the podcast, we're gonna have her do karaoke, and we're just gonna put it in
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
with a picture of me in the shorts again.
There we
In
go.
the end
Yeah.
credits, her singing.
I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind.
Oh.
So good.
Oh, man.
Oh, we're gonna duet that at some karaoke. We are karaoke fiends. After the last recording, which was the live audience one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we went hard, and like
I
there's
got
gonna be
some-
some video. There's some
I got some
allegations against me
real
having
good
The
recording.
videos are amazing.
having
I
sexual
love them.
relations with a mic stand.
Yeah.
Anything.
They're hilarious.
near the
There's-
stage.
I'm told there's video. I haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
I have not even seen it. Dave refuses to.
Oliver,
Oh.
I'll give you. There's a bit of a striptease.
Oh no!
Oh.
The best thing is
You got moves. You got moves.
anything to please the people.
Yeah, you were pleasing them.
You hear the people in the background
Boy,
like,
they-
no, no.
A lot of people came up to me and were like, "I'm pleased."
No, I think they said police.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, because it was me back here with my phone, just being creepy, just like
Oh
just
my
because I was just
No, you.
just filming you guys, like
I
recording
remember.
you guys, and it was like I thought about it, I was like, boy, this looks really weird.
No, I remember so few things about that night, but I do remember that where you were not that far back, and you were.
And I had one that I thought, oh, I should zoom in. That'll be better. And it wasn't better.
Oh no!
Well, because the further you zoom in, the more you shake. Like any little tiny movement. So it's
Right.
it literally just looks like the room's shaking around you, and it's like, why did I zoom? I didn't need to be that close.
Oh, that's so
like,
funny.
Uh,
We were just the weird couple that saw you from across the bar.
it was, but that was a good time. That was
It was so fun.
we got any fan questions? Well, actually, we got Courtney's questions.
Well,
Yes.
So what do we want? Do we want to get to her
Courtney's a fan.
questions or the reason that she's on the show? Insert here the do your best flashback noises. Where we were talking mad shit.
Yes,
So-
and not correct.
Yeah, Courtney
To preface-
heard our second episode.
Yes, yes.
We're gonna. I'll just do a quick recap of episode
Should we take a
2.
break before we do a recap?
What's that?
Can we take a break before
Yeah,
we do
absolutely.
a recap?
All right, we'll
Okay.
take a little breather,
Okay.
and then we'll be back.
Okay.
Boop, boop.
And we're back, better than ever. So as we mentioned before, the reason Courtney is here is this is the People's Court. And
Story straight.
she's here to defend her position.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
To preface this, in episode 2, watch it if you haven't watched it.
Cryptid Schmiptid.
Cryptid Schmiptid, which is a great
Yeah,
name.
brilliant title.
Whoever thought of that put a lot into it, I'm sure. It was.
Yeah, I can tell.
We had mentioned a story, and I'll try to be as fact-based and unbiased as possible when telling this, that Courtney had taken the dog out one night, and she saw what she described as a flying octopus drone.
No, I didn't say drone. It was.
No,
octopus
that's
shaped.
the part that you're like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, get it right. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
a flying octopus.
That was me.
Sorry.
I'm the one that said drone.
Sorry.
We're not all the same, okay?
Not all white ladies are the same.
Sus. Just sus.
So she claimed to have seen a flying octopus, and I innocent.
Reasonably, I might add.
I got a little
I'm
different
going to say I'm
story.
biased here. I suggested that it may have been an owl because they are very quiet, very quick, sneaky flyers.
Yes. They actually have a silent flight.
And from there, we've both been holding fast to our.
Well, I did
Well,
look this
you-
up.
We'll say opinion.
you weren't there. I can give my part.
I will say this. I did look this up after the last podcast.
It is
Owls are called the octopus of the sky.
Oh,
That is
but-
science right
yeah.
there.
So
Oliver's my lead witness.
There is science
I have
behind
some
it.
background.
He's my
I've
expert
also
witness.
looked up octopus UFO, and the military has seen it several times. So
Who?
the military.
The military.
I have that you can look it up online.
Mhm.
There's an image that I found that it looked just like. But anyways, so I took the dog out one night, totally sober, must say.
Oh, let's put dramatic.
There is nothing. There is no. Yeah.
Let's put dramatic music over this part right here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun-dun.
And I was just looking
Oh
at
my
the sky because I love looking at the stars. And this thing, like, I couldn't tell how high it was up because the sky was so dark. I couldn't compare it to anything.
Mhm.
But yeah, something started flying like over my head. I would say it was like when I said drone, it was probably like drone height is what I was
Objection.
saying.
You said you didn't say drone.
No, I said I didn't say the object was a
Sustained.
drone.
Dismissed.
And her first thought when she sees flying object in the sky, that's an octopus. right?
No, so it was like kind of octopus shaped. But the thing that made it so weird is right after it was like over top my head, it just disappeared into thin air.
It just disappeared.
I really want Courtney to draw what she thinks an octopus looks like, and then we look at the paper and it's just an owl.
Oh my god! A very, very like well drawn, artistic
Yeah,
owl.
perfectly.
Details and
Like
everything.
somebody
Perfectly
taught
drawn
Courtney
owl.
the wrong word at one
But
point in time.
The thing is, like I said, it disappeared into thin air, like right above me, and like it was like. And I grew up in the country. I know exactly what an owl's like flying and all that. Like it just something I couldn't explain. It was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced, and I. Of course, ran inside, and then DJ's like, "Oh, you saw an owl," and I'm like, "No, that's not an owl at all." But that was
I
my
stand
side
by
of the
my
story.
assessment.
Okay, you stand by. You stand by. I have something to say.
Okay.
Has anybody here seen the movie Paul?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny.
In the movie Paul, it's about an alien and he encounters these humans. He's running from the government because he's been working with the government. He's an alien, he's been working with the government. He looks like a classic alien. And the humans he runs into say, like, "Oh my god, you look like a classic cartoon." And he said, "Yeah, we did that on purpose to like prepare you guys for seeing me so you wouldn't freak out."
Yes. Yes.
Which they did freak out anyway. And so that just makes me think like aliens are definitely real. Aliens are around us all the time.
They're like smart enough to take the shape of an octopus, but not smart enough to know that octopuses go in water. Like they're like naked octopus. They love octopuses.
No,
the only thing I can say is like it was short,
2 wings.
and then it just like went out like this. And yes, I know that could be an owl shape, but it was like it was
not an
squared
owl.
off.
It
was,
turned
like,
its head
squared-
180 degrees.
It was squared
Oh.
off at the back, so like it was like
It looked her in the eyes and was like,
thing.
ooh.
Yeah, it was like it's like the movie Paul. Courtney's story is fictional. That's,
Dude, speaking of like drugging and dosing people,
okay, right there.
and this brings us to our next segment: trauma dumping.
trauma dump, dude.
Things we
It's,
don't actually do.
it's so hard. It's so hard being a woman who experiences hormonal changes.
Oh my gosh!
And I was
yes.
just thinking one day,
I
I was like,
hate it.
how could I get men to understand what it's like to just all of a sudden have all the chemicals in your brain change and you don't know what's going on, so you're freaking
Yeah.
out.
You
You're
could-
sad and you
and I
don't
was
know
like-
why.
You
You're
could
sad and
you
you don't
could
know
be
why.
a
Drug
man
'em.
that has to deal with that. We understand. It doesn't make it easy.
Yeah, you guys have to deal with it. We have to deal with you while you're dealing with it.
My first thought was drug them with LSD. Then they'll be scared. And then I realized you could technically just dose them with estrogen, like in the movie. That's it? We're good?
Yeah.
We're back after a technical difficulty.
The aliens know we're talking about them. They're cutting off our broadcast.
Told you. I told you.
But Summer was alluding to talking about us getting drugged in the movie.
Just like The Longest
Just like-
Yard. Yes. They end up... Okay, so the prison inmates who are
Oh, yeah.
supposed
I
to
remember it now.
play against the guards, they end up dosing one of the guards with estrogen.
And his boobs hurt,
His
like his
boobs
chest.
hurt.
Yeah.
He's like crying. He's emotional. And I just realized it's way simpler than getting some LSD. Just get some estrogen, start putting it in my male coworker's drinks at work.
I'm not drinking anything.
And then they'll leave me alone.
Ever again.
But they'll come
I
up
will
to you
take-
crying for
I
no
will-
reason.
I will take no free food or drink from Summer ever again.
Anyway, sorry.
That is
Fellows.
I remember that scene well.
I was like, because they'll just never be able to like know what it feels like from the inside.
Yeah.
But they
So-
could.
Do we want? Courtney did end up drawing the.
Yes, yeah. During the break, we were like, Courtney, what did it look like? Is Summer going to run up? Oh,
Summer's
It
going to
didn't
show.
have the octopus legs, but I'm just saying, like, this was the shape of it. The outline. You got to look at the outline
Yeah.
of it.
Dave, are we catching it? Are we catching it
Yeah,
live?
we got it.
All right.
That beautiful image you
So,
see.
as
where
you can tell, an
Summer's-
owl doesn't have its wings back like that. Like, an
No.
owl would fly like
No, an
that.
octopus flies like that. Not
Yeah.
Exactly,
an owl.
exactly.
That's exactly how I
Exactly.
So
imagine.
this, you know, this reminds me of that old YouTube video where they're like, people saw a leprechaun, and then somebody was like, "Here's what the leprechaun looked like," and it was the fucking like just like a 3-year-old drew it.
Yeah. No, why can't anybody that can draw also see these things?
I cannot
Right,
draw.
right. No, again, that's like where we were talking about Bigfoot. It's like we're not sending our best people. Like, why is it only?
Right.
Why is it never the best of us that happen to
Yeah.
some? Like, we don't have very credible people.
Yeah.
going.
Why are they all related?
Like if
Yeah.
if Neil deGrasse Tyson kind of came out in just like a press conference like I fucking saw Bigfoot, I
believe
think we'd
him.
believe him because
We
that's a
believe him.
scientist.
Yeah.
But it's usually people with like half their teeth missing that
Oh.
are just like I saw the Loch Ness monster.
Well, nobody asks what else
In
they
the
saw.
bathtub.
That's the thing. Is they'll be like, did you see Bigfoot? They say yes. Just ask them what else they saw, because I'm sure they saw some other things that don't exist.
That's a valid point.
But
Fuck you.
I'll say, I still believe.
well, no, like because it was your experience, you're allowed to have it. Because like, but because whether it's ghosts or cryptids or like whatever,
Yeah.
everybody has their own story that no one else is going to believe, but then those people also have their own
Well,
stories.
Well, yeah, like I lived in a haunted house once and had
No.
so many.
No, what were some
What?
spooky happenings? What were some?
What?
Oh my gosh, I could go on and on. So this was in Cedar Falls in a rental,
Okay.
right out of college, right out
Straight
of
out of
college,
Compton.
Straight out of Compton.
and it would first happen to me, and then it would happen to my roommate. We both lived upstairs, and the first thing happened. I was sitting reading a book and just quiet, and I hear, "Hey," like a whisper voice right in my ear. And I'm
Yeah.
like thinking it's my roommate in the hallway. And I was like, "Hey, what do you want?" And she's not there. So then I like keep reading. I'm like, "Wait, that was really weird." So I go and tell my roommate what happened. And she's like, "Oh, doesn't believe me, whatever. It is what it is." And then she was watching football and had it super loud because she really got into football. And she runs into my room and she's like, "Someone just whispered, 'hey,' and right in my ear." And so that's when it started. And that was like the second night we had lived there. And then it would knock on our doors. It threw all our shoes off the shoe rack all over our kitchen. It took our dining room chairs and pulled them out from the table and faced them all against a wall. I saw a shadow figure clear as day. I thought my roommate was home from work because she was sick or something. I'm like, what is she doing home?
I hope
And
to
no one
God
was
that your
home.
roommate was just fucking with you this whole
No,
time.
no, she had all the same. Like I
The
said,
whole time he's like, "Oh no, who moved these chairs?"
she had all the same experiences, and it was always when it was just one of us home. So it was like, and yeah, everything would happen to me first, and then it would happen to her just
Yes,
minutes
she
later.
never had her own original story. She was always just like, "Yeah,
that's
Courtney, the
right.
chairs did move." No, I think that she was feeding.
The
into
chair
this
thing
fucking-
actually was something she saw. I didn't see it. But
Oh my
she took a
God.
picture, and then when she moved out, she was the last person to move out. She took like back-to-back photos.
And
outside.
then it stopped happening.
No. She took back-to-back photos outside, and there was clearly, I'm not kidding you, a face in the window
Oh my
that was looking at her in just one of the photos. Like she just like, it, yeah.
Wow.
But we had a ton of stuff happen. There was you'd have cold spurts just run through us.
Oh my God, that's the
When
ghost,
her
like,
family
coming
was
through
moving,
you.
even when her family, she was the last one to move out. When her family was helping her move out, we heard like footsteps on the stairs all the time, and they're like thought someone was coming down, and they're like
Yeah.
hello, and there's no one upstairs. So like everyone like experienced it. That was there. It was unreal.
Dude,
So,
how
yeah.
can you not believe
No,
that? How
I-
can you not
That's-
believe
it's
this story
just-
I would be
right
the
now?
person in the horror movie who doesn't believe that there's a ghost.
Yeah, and I totally get that, 'cause
until it kills me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
I was that person before it happened. I was like, I think maybe ghosts are
Like,
real. I don't know.
in
But
the
then I
horror
experienced that, and I
movie-
was like, oh wow.
If the four of us were in a horror movie,
Dude.
I die before I realize it's a horror movie. I think it's a movie about camping.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Just people that are really bad at camping.
No, I-
and other roommates
I
die,
think
but I
what,
don't know.
what it sounds like to me is Courtney has an octopus poltergeist that is now
No, that
I'll
was
follow
way
her
before
to
the
her
no,
current
this was years
residence.
ago.
that was way before
But-
the octopus.
There's one common denominator.
But yeah,
Well,
I thought it was
okay.
going to be a horse
One
ghost because you said that it was
common
always saying "hey," and that's what horses eat, and it was stomping on the ground.
Right.
I'm like,
Dude.
we do have a witness that I know it's not me, but it is our dog
Oh.
was there. And what I've been doing is I've been showing her pictures of octopus
Oh my.
no.
and then a picture of an owl, and she only attacks the pictures of an
No.
owl.
Are you for real?
Yeah, so she
In your home? Like,
Obviously-
when it happened with your dog?
obviously
okay,
knew that
let
there
me
was-
know.
On it.
there was an owl. I was like, which one did she see?
Oh my
She's just
God.
like, 'cause
That's the
her paw-
thing.
her
Like
paws
the
just
dog was
going
not
back and
paying
forth.
attention or saw it at all. She
Yeah.
was way
Your
out.
terrier
Yeah,
was not paying attention.
No, she was way out on the lawn pooping, and I was just thinking like, oh, I'm having this experience. This is weird.
right?
Oh
Yeah.
my
No,
God.
Courtney, you're full of shit. But all of my ghost stories are
Oh
real. All
my
of mine are
God.
real. Totally.
Yeah.
You should believe and respect mine.
Every story a comedian says is real, right?
Yeah. No. The other day.
All of our jokes are real.
The other day, my friend and I.
yeah.
No, I've had some funny ghost story, not like funny, but like there was like one where I was my first year of college. I was like in my dorm room and I was facing the wall, and I thought that I heard the chair like move across the fucking.
It was just yourself farting.
No, it was just like, no. I was doing plenty of that. Trust me, I
Leaky
know.
butt.
I know my own farts. I told Dave before the podcast. No, I told in the group chat. I was like, I farted today and had to leave the room because it was so bad. No, so I fart a lot. But no, this one I just like heard the chair like move a couple inches across the room, and I was just like, "That's fucking weird." But also, don't turn around in case it's something.
Yeah,
spooky.
don't look.
Right.
Right? No, because I'm like,
Don't
what?
look.
Yeah. No, we keep on having these spooky interferences. Woo! We're actually gonna wait for this episode debut in October for Halloween.
Yeah, this is our.
But no, so I get back into it. I heard the chair move across the room 4 inches, and I'm facing the wall when I was sleeping because it was just much cozier. And behind me, I could feel pressure on the bed,
Oh,
and
no.
I felt pressure on one spot on the bed and pressure on another spot. Like one was like down by like my cap, and one was like on like my or like right behind my back, to where it felt like somebody was putting two hands on the bed to like look around.
No.
And try to look me in the face, like and
Right.
try like to
That's,
get eye
that's
contact.
horrible.
And then I was just sitting there, just like, if I don't engage with this, like,
Just pretend nothing. Is
yeah, if nothing, if
Someone
nothing's,
hitting on me?
yeah, no, if I pretend that nothing's happening, maybe the ghost will get bored and leave.
It tickles your butthole, and you're like, just pretend nothing's happening.
Yeah, it starts giving me cunnilingus. It was,
Yeah.
no, the ghost just like fucking just I felt the pressure ease off, and then I just also too the other thing is that the temperature, the pressure in the room felt weird for a little bit, but then like after the weight kind of lifted off the bed, the air pressure in the room went back to feeling normal. I can't describe it. And I
Weird.
think I was talking to my mom here and there. I think that we were talking about ghosts or whatever, and I think that like my mom was like, "Oh yeah, no, like our family back on the Northeast did like part of the country, not Iowa, was like, oh yeah, like we come from witches and shit." I'm like, "What?" And She's like, yeah,
Witches.
and then I think that I told her that story because she's like, yeah, so we have like some spooky supernatural stuff, and then I told my mom that story. She's like, really? And I'm like, whoa, that's not a normal reaction. Why is that? She's like, your brother told me an almost identical story when he was like down south visiting like a grandparent or something like that. He was staying on the couch, and then like when he was about my age, like had like a. He described almost exactly like air pressure felt weird, felt like just like this weird kind of like this evil fucking thing in the room, and then like something was trying to like look him in the eyes while he was like sleeping,
man.
but then he also didn't fuck with it and then like left, and it never happened again. But like that's like a spooky thing that again mine's the only story that actually happened.
Deep seated.
Right?
Yeah.
You are a warlock.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, dude,
Yes.
like, is this like something that like somebody was like, yeah, our first offspring that looks this demon in the face has to
Right.
go get
They keep
fucked by
trying
it.
until one of you like actually
Yeah, no,
looks at it.
Yeah.
But like we're all like very superstitious people who are just like, don't look at no demons, they're not there.
I think the fact that you ignored it probably helped it go away.
I mean, if it was real, otherwise maybe I would just sit there because if you prime yourself and go, man, I hope I don't fucking have a demon in the room with me. Like, I feel like your brain's gonna be like, oh, that's fun because like we have nightmares. Doesn't that suck? Your brain every once in a while is just like, hey. We're
Makes
just going to
it worse.
We're going to make you not only watch the scariest movie we can think of, but be in it.
Yeah.
Experience it. Yeah.
Yeah, your brain doesn't need to do that. Like, there's no scientific reason why it's like, oh yeah, you have to have a scary as shit thing every once in a while to,
I think that you
Subconscious coming out.
need to change your mindset. And that you need to try to activate these powers purposefully and become the most powerful warlock of our generation.
Yeah, no,
Also the only.
yeah.
The only. Yeah.
No, if I was magical,
Chris Angel like.
our podcast would be a lot more successful, and my co-hosts would have.
Would be devilishly charming.
Yeah,
We wouldn't have any computer issues. That's
No
right.
technical difficulties
no
for
technical
sure.
difficulties. But also on that, one of Courtney's questions was if you could have anybody on the podcast, who would it be and why? That was
Abraham Lincoln.
No, be serious.
Oh.
Yeah, good question. It's a good question.
I mean, it could be a dead person. Like,
No, it could be, but I'm just saying I know that's not your
yeah, we
person.
know that you don't like Abraham Lincoln because you know. Dave every single day is like, man, I wish somebody else could,
yeah, like Pat, he gets a lot of hype, but he shouldn't.
Jeez.
Yeah, what's the deal with Abe Lincoln these days?
Yeah.
I don't. Summer, why don't you take the lead on this one?
Okay, if I could pick somebody to be on the podcast right now, I would really love for Rena Calm to be on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I love that, and that is honestly a reachable goal.
That's a reachable
Yeah.
goal.
It's attainable.
hilarious.
She's
First we have
so
to travel.
hilarious. Also,
All right,
we're back.
we're back. We were talking about Rena and why
Miss
she'd
Calm.
why
Yes.
Summer would really, really, really want her on the podcast.
If we could have any guest on the podcast, who would it be? And I would love to have Rena Calm on the podcast. She is somewhat of a Midwest local comedian, but also she has traveled across the nation performing comedy, and she is liberal and also conservative. So, like, she just has a lot of perspective, I would say, that I would love to hear from her on the podcast. That would
Right.
be amazing.
I'm sure she has plenty of good stories from being on the road too.
She has to have
She's
good
very,
stories.
very, very funny. We got to see her. Well, the last time she was at the Octopus,
Mhm.
God, she's
we saw
super
her
funny.
there. She
Yeah, no,
she was really, really funny.
So
I've seen her at Lucky Cat. I might have actually performed at Lucky. I don't remember.
Oh.
It seems weird that I would have been in Cedar Rapids without being on the show, but I have done that before. But yeah, no, Rena would be good. She's great. Yeah, and I think that she kind of like lives out of her car or lives.
I
out
think
of
she's
her
like a
van.
camper van, maybe.
Yeah, no. So
Yes.
she's like always on the road. She's always touring. She's not just on tour a lot. She basically just is. She's been on tour for the last couple of years.
Wow. Wow.
So
Yeah.
that's why, yeah, I'd be interested to hear her perspective.
So Rena Calm. is
Rena
our-
Calm.
Yeah.
our first choice.
That's mine.
Oliver, do you want to?
Were you going with dead people as well, or just like
Yeah, that could be.
fictional people?
Anybody.
Yeah, could be fictional.
Okay, Lola Bunny, and it would just be some alone time with
Oh,
me.
geez.
No, that's
On
porn.
the podcast. This podcast isn't a porno yet.
No, that'd be the one time I abused my power. No, I let's see. So like living people, like Kyle Kinane is like a huge like hero of mine. I started doing comedy kind of because of like I'd always loved stand up comedy for like the last like 30 years basically, and I kind of fell out of love with it, or I just like hadn't been around it for a long time because when I was dating, I didn't focus on things that made me happy. So after she was gone, I was like listening to things in my house, just trying to not have it be silent in the house. And one of Kyle Kinane's bits from his I Liked His Old Stuff Better album, the final track of that made me laugh so hard I fucking was like brought to tears, and it just like brought me back to life basically. And I was like, oh my god, I'm a 25-year-old person. I could just go and do the comedy. And it was like something that I'd always wanted to do, but I was just like too broke, didn't have a car, didn't have the resources, didn't have the know-how. And then I all of a sudden I realized like, oh yeah, I had dreams once, and now I'm a person who's capable of doing them.
Definitely.
So yeah, it was like a fun, eye-opening moment where I didn't start doing comedy until I was 25, 24, whatever it was, which is later than like a lot of people get to start. Like when they,
Right.
like I knew that I wanted to do comedy since I was 5, basically, and I didn't start because I was like, I don't get
Where?
to.
Yeah, like
he
where?
wanted to be a comedian when he was a little kid too.
I did.
Yeah, so
I did.
Kyle Kinane would be huge. God, there's Eli Manning, ex-quarterback of the Giants.
Oh, shit.
For sure. Like he's another hero of mine. Just like another kind of
Football.
like, yeah,
Right.
Is Eli? Okay, there's 2 of them, right? Eli.
yeah. Peyton's the older one.
Who's the
Peyton's-
one in all the commercials?
Peyton.
Peyton's in
Well,
many more commercials. Eli's
yeah.
in a few.
Yeah.
Eli's in a few.
I think I like Peyton.
Peyton's the one with the 5 head. He's
Mostly,
got
yeah, mostly
yeah,
bald.
I like Peyton.
But Eli Manning is like one of the only celebrities that like when they die, if I outlive him, I'll actually like shed a tear over. Like when people cry about celebrities, I'm always just like kind of like,
You didn't
know that? Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't go watch their movies anymore. But is
Mhm.
it was it worth crying over? Like,
Yeah, it's not gonna mess my day up.
Right, but like Eli Manning and the Giants, like when I was a really big football fan in my teen years, and kind of like watching kind of like the role model, kind of the Giants at the time were very never give up, come back in the fourth quarter, just be calm, put your head down. Dude won 2 Super Bowls. One of them is
Damn.
arguably the best Super Bowl of all time, where they beat the undefeated Patriots and had a fourth quarter comeback drive where it's touchdown and you win, anything less and you lose. And I'm just like, yeah, that is some stone cold, like that is some
Yeah.
balls that you
That's
gotta
some
have.
Stone Cold Austin
Yeah.
shit.
He just seems like a fun person too.
Right, and he does seem genuinely funny. Like there's like a lot of really good stories. But yeah, no, I would say that those are like 2. I mean, obviously, I could name a lot of different
Right.
comedians, athletes,
Oh, yeah.
actors. But yeah, Dave,
So
you
many.
go for one, or do you want to go last? Have Courtney, or Courtney, you still
Courtney
thinking?
go last. It's her
Courtney, go last. Dave, you go.
Well, my dream already came true because it was Courtney Fry.
Oh jeez.
Oh, he is getting his
Cute.
nipples touched tonight.
That's it, though.
But if
Just
but if we hadn't
That's what
gotten
he
her
likes. That's what he likes.
on the podcast, I think it's tough because you could think of influences or people that you love, and it's like you want somebody interesting to talk to, not somebody that's just going to be weird.
Okay, just don't look at me when you say that, you asshole.
I think I would say Jim Carrey would be an absolute
Oh, you don't
delight.
want somebody weird, but you want
I
Jim
was gonna
Carrey.
say, yeah, that's
Well,
an
it's not
oxymoron.
necessarily not weird, but somebody that would just be
The real Jim Carrey.
something.
not Jim
I would
Carrey.
just be so engrossed in whatever he said.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
he could indoctrinate me like immediately.
Well, no, he's
Into
extremely
a cult.
100%.
wise. He always
Yeah,
like
he's
has
very
these just like
intelligent.
very insightful,
I
thoughtful
just-
things to
Yes.
say.
It's so.
Yes,
I remember
yes.
as a kid, one of my favorite, and still to this day, is Ace Ventura. I absolutely love that movie.
Like
Which
one? Which
every
one?
time you part.
Both of I like
Just all of
both of
them?
them.
Oh,
Not the
there's-
Oh, not
not the
all,
kid.
both.
No.
Yeah.
There's a kid.
Not
there's-
Ace Ventura Jr. Pet Detective.
yeah, I don't. That one I didn't even watch.
Straight
'cause, like
to Cartoon
that's
Network.
disgraceful. But
That's something else.
no, I loved both of them, and it always made me laugh. And I like all the humor. He does he does impressions. He does
He's
physical
so-
humor. He's got witty remarks. I mean, it really was what sort of shaped my love of comedy.
Oh,
For sure.
And then beyond that, all the people I would want are probably going to be comedians. But like the two biggest influences on like what made me laugh and what made me want to make people laugh were Jim Carrey and then Dave Chappelle. Like I'm a huge fan of. I think I watched the Chappelle Show like every episode many times, and I've watched his stand up like all of it multiple times. And then the one on Killing Me Softly is probably my favorite.
Oh, yeah,
an
that's the classic.
That's the one that like that put him on like everybody's map. I think. That's the one
that's regarded as a top 5 album of all time on a lot of credible lists.
It's just so good. And I guess I have one more influence, and this would be the weird one that's like impossible. Well, it's not impossible. The one other thing that sort of shaped me humor wise was South Park.
Yeah.
I've also seen almost
Seth
every episode of South
MacFarlane?
Park
No.
many times over.
Oh, that's
Seth
not the-
MacFarlane is Family Guy.
So
Oh.
having Trey Parker and Matt Stone would be the creators. Of,
Yeah.
having those guys on here, like I don't know if I'd be able to contain myself.
Oh, I just thought of 3 more because like you're making me think because he's been a voice on South Park. Conan O'Brien.
Oh, okay. He would
Conan
be fantastic.
Conan O'Brien would be amazing. Neil deGrasse Tyson would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Another hero of mine, Jon Stewart.
Yeah, he would.
Absolutely,
He's
yes.
just
Absolutely.
One of the smartest people on the planet, as far as
Yes.
I'm concerned.
I would agree with
I
that.
want John Stamos. I just saw him in concert at a Beach Boys, and this is a Beach
oh,
Boys
that's right.
hat.
You're a Beach Boys fan.
I
he's been
want
on
John
the-
Stamos.
If you get John Stamos, I get Lola Bunny.
Oh my, yeah, Lola Bunny and John Stamos. That's all we need. That's it.
I'll take Jim Carrey.
And Jim Carrey.
Courtney.
Courtney, who
What do you
would
got?
you want? Whether you got to be on as a guest host interviewing, or you just see us interview.
I would say Cher for sure because her life that she's lived is got to be like her story's amazing, and I've always looked up to her as far as fashion. She's also very hilarious when she was on SNL back in the day. I mean, so funny. She has that like dry sense of humor.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love her music. I love her style. And now she's with a young guy. I wonder what that's like.
Yes.
Dusty.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like in his 20s, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's young.
Yeah, and I mean,
He's a famous rapper. I don't know what's his name.
Courtney's into young guys.
no, I didn't mean that. I
No,
meant
the
like,
way that you said it, you're like she's with a young guy. I wonder
Cher-
what
Well,
that-
I meant like
Every-
as she's an older woman.
Courtney,
and
you'll
he's way
never know.
younger.
Yeah.
For your information, she is older than me.
Yes, I am.
Ooh. Cool.
Yes. But yeah, no,
Like
I
900 days older.
900 days.
Oh, she's an old bitch.
Oh my god.
Her birthday's coming up.
yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Ooh,
Yes,
when is it? When is it?
August 24th. He said it earlier. He
Happy
wanted to announce
birthday.
yeah.
Yeah.
my credit card number. No.
Are you doing? What are you doing for your birthday?
We are going to an Airbnb that'll be close to Harper's Ferry.
Yeah.
And then my parents are also staying in an Airbnb, and it's an actual train caboose that they're staying in that's been turned into a
God.
house, and it's looks super cool.
Oh my god.
So yeah, we're just gonna hang out, do whatever.
Wait.
comes
So how
in.
close are the Airbnbs to each other?
Like 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. I was
cabin
gonna say
up there
like
too.
they
I
don't
can
want to
see
hear.
Oh, yeah.
Well, our buddy Ryan is coming too, and he's gonna be in this.
He'll be filming.
Yeah,
He'll be
you
with
said
you.
I could fill. You said I'd make a nice addition.
Well, the thing is,
he did.
here's the thing. The B and B in Airbnb in this case is going to stand for butt and boobs.
Well, I guess it's technically a VRBO, but same.
BRB?
It's the same thing.
But okay, so yeah, you just have your Ryan just leave for an hour or 2 or 5 minutes. I don't know what it takes.
He
That's
never leaves.
generous.
He never leaves. He's there
He'll
the whole
tuck
time.
DJ into bed. He did that once. That was hilarious.
Aw.
Did you guys-
Hilarious for everyone but DJ.
Except for you.
Yeah, it was funny.
No, he
So
tucked me. He like stuffed the comforter underneath me, so I was like in a straight jacket.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
went ahead and
Called
just
tucking
stuffed
in.
right to my crotch
Yep.
to make sure it was tight in there too, and just punched me right in the balls. And I was also stuck in the covers,
Oh my
so
god.
it was just like, this is what hell is like. You're just in a straight jacket getting punched in the balls, and you're
Oh.
trying to sleep. Like, I wanted to sleep too. That was the thing. I wasn't being forced into bed. Like, I went willfully,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Wait before you sleep. How about some pain?" Like,
That's what good friends are for.
No, I
Yes.
woke up. So
Yes.
I woke up hungover from Friday, and I did a big stretch, and I was dehydrated when I did the big stretch, and my left calf just decided no.
yeah,
Just decided to from my foot all the way up to the
Oh,
back of
nasty.
my knee, just to have just stabbing horrible pain, and I was
That's not fun.
cramping up for like 5 minutes. Like it was
Ooh.
like. There was like one time where back like when I was in high school, going into my senior year, we were doing 2-a-day football practices. So a lot of running, a lot of exercising,
oh yeah,
a lot of water intake, but a lot of liquids lost in the summer and 2-a-day practices.
for sure.
So like both of my calves started cramping at once. So both of my parents had to like kind of like hold me like kind of down and like just like squeezing like my dad's hand.
Oh.
And it's like he tries to like pull like my toes towards my body to like release some
right,
of the muscle.
right, yeah.
And like my mom is like just bringing over like hot soaked towels to try to like I was like in incredible amounts of pain.
Right. There's nothing more like you can't appreciate your parents more than, or anyone that helps you with that, because like when it happens to you and you're alone, you're like, this is
No,
this is the end for me.
Yeah,
Like,
because
I'm
part of me
dead
is just
now.
like, is this forever? Is this actually
Yeah.
going to go away, or is this forever?
How do I get to the
Yeah.
food? That's the thing that goes in my. I was like, how am I going to get to the food now?
Oh my god.
I can't even walk. Like,
Priorities.
yeah, just
I-
army crawling with my calves cramping to the kitchen. Like, where's the food? I gotta eat.
I had knee surgery one time, and my mom and dad took care of me. And I had to like lift up my legs, as therapy, right? And my mom could not be there. She just could not. It was unbearable because it was painful. So I was like crying. So it just had to be my dad telling me, like lift up your legs. Okay.
Oh, that's so fun.
But also I was so greasy from chocolate cake. Because my mom did love me. She wanted to support me somehow. And she made like chocolate cake, any dessert I wanted, and I was just eating it. And my niece and nephew came to see me, and I'm like this grease ball. I had strong legs because my dad was helping me, but I was a
This
grease
is what
ball.
happens when you don't listen to
Don't get knee surgery.
So good, so such
do we?
fun times.
So say Courtney had 2 other questions.
You did not
Yeah,
even
well,
say.
How about let's have a quick.
Okay.
Let's see. We had an ad.
I was gonna say a quick
Yeah.
word from our sponsors.
Big
Right,
word
I'm gonna have
for
to
my
pull it up
And
again.
sponsor.
Courtney, you'd be a great candidate to read off
Absolutely.
our sponsor of the day.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a high budget performance. Actually, and we haven't had technical difficulties in like a minute, right? Yeah. Yeah. Now I jinxed it.
Now that we
like,
stopped talking about the aliens and the ghosts.
the podcast, we should name the podcast Ghost. Comment below what you think we should name
My
the
God.
podcast Ghost. Oh my God, we
This
should
is
have
so much better than what it did earlier.
no Courtney. Don't get to you don't get to
I know.
not until Courtney's doing a blind read of the ad from our sponsor, our very real sponsor, super real sponsor.
For real.
I should make a graphic of whatever this product is. 'Cause I actually don't know what it is. I should make a graphic.
Okay, can you read that?
You want me to read that?
Yep, just start at
Yep,
the top
right
where
into the microphone, or
where this.
you can take the microphone off the stand too if you need.
Yeah, if you need to pull it out or.
All right. Discover your spark with Lady Boners. Are you ready to ignite your inner flame and celebrate your unique allure? Introducing Lady Boners, the ultimate boost for your confidence and style.
Keep-
You want me to keep reading?
oh yeah.
You got to read the full ad.
What
Okay.
are lady boners, you ask? Lady boners aren't just turning heads, they're about empowering you to embrace your full fabulous self. From chic accessories to confidence boosting lifestyle tips, Lady Boners is here to make every day a statement of your strength and sophistication. Why you'll love Lady Boners, let me tell you. Fashion forward, elevate your wardrobe with our exclusive range of accessories designed to add that perfect touch of sparkle.
I wish I had a sparkly boner.
And you
Also-
can now today with Lady Boners.
20% off with what code? No,
Actually,
Dad, what's that?
well, actually, yeah. Move on to that.
Look away, son.
And
Look away.
also, it's a confidence boost. Our unique tips and tricks help you radiate confidence and elegance wherever you go. And don't forget empowerment. Join a community of strong, stylish women who know that the true beauty comes from within. The G spot. No.
It's an
Yeah.
wait from within. It's an
I improvise.
Your inner lady boner. And we have a special offer going on now for a limited time. Enjoy 20% off your first order.
That's a circumcision.
with the code Sparkle20, all caps. Visit us at. I'm not going to say that. We don't have a website for that yet. They don't have their website up. I mean,
What website did it come up with?
just ladyboners.com.
Ladyboners.com.
That's all.
Somebody in the comments.
You should
go to that
that
address.
website.
I don't want
Use the
to.
code.
Just
Use the
find
code.
out.
Use the code. Come
I don't
on now.
want. I don't want.
What happened?
I don't want my like algorithm like for my phone. Like right now, I'm getting a lot of good products advertised.
Well, our
to me.
phones are nearby, so they're all gonna have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
We're all going to leave here and we're going to get an ads like DoorDash, Lady
Yeah,
Boners.
no. The front page of my Pornhub is going to be very different
Yes,
after today.
yes, it's gonna be
My
Coming soon,
Pornhub,
Lady Boners for men.
my Pornhub stopped working because it thinks I'm in Nebraska, and apparently
Oh,
it's
not
So it's
legal.
advertising nothing but like sister, cousin.
Corn
no. It just comes up with this thing that says Nebraska's illegalizing porn.
Texas already did that too. Or no, yes,
No,
they
you have to
did.
be 18, you have to
Nebraska
upload
did
your ID.
it.
Yeah, I'm not.
So
would
I have
never
to
do
use a
that.
new porn page now, and I'm like, oh, Pure Pleasure is on all the porn sites, not just Pornhub.
Oh, God. So,
Anyways,
now that we got our ad read out of the way,
I
thank
do
you, Lady.
OnlyFans so I can shop
Yeah.
local.
Yeah, thank you,
Support
Lady
small
Boners.
businesses.
Thank you for doing
Organic
that. Yes.
Oh, God.
Thank you for supporting
There's going to
so
be too
much.
much.
Healthier for you,
There's going
right?
to be organic porn will have just too much hair.
Yeah.
Like there's just hair everywhere.
But it's
you don't want
healthier.
it.
It's
It's too
healthier.
much air. It's a lot of
No,
queefs.
hair.
or-
Hair.
Hair.
Oh,
Nobody shaves in organic porn. Anything.
Everything comes back around in
Yeah.
fashion, so
It
you
just
never
looks
know.
like two
It
balls of
does.
hair boning
yes,
each other.
it does.
But thank you, Lady Boners, for sponsoring the show. When you exist, we'll gladly accept your real sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to move on to one of other
Yeah,
Courtney's
the
other
second
questions.
question. I thought this one was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What's the strangest or funniest thing that a person has yelled at you
Yes.
while performing on stage?
Yeah.
Courtney, have you seen any good? Have you seen or done any that you can think of?
I haven't done any, but when you kind of made that joke about the one guy,
Oh,
who-
I was totally
gonna
about to
say that is
Huh?
probably my favorite story, and yeah,
Yeah, no,
And
so
we were, well, it
I-
helps
I-
that we were there.
yeah,
too.
I
Like,
was there
we're
too.
at
This
that-
Yeah, so
happened.
this is true. This is
This
actually
has
true.
really happened.
So I
We lost Summer.
What?
yeah,
you were there. You were there. I'm pretty sure.
Summer was there, but is Summer ever really there?
Questionable.
But no, so I was asking the audience at a show one time, have you guys heard any good pickup lines? And one dude in the middle of the room stood up confidently and he said, I got one. And then he proceeded to say, how do I know that you're coming home with me? It's because I'm bigger than you. And immediately I'm like, are there any pickup lines that didn't come from somebody who went to prison? Like,
Right.
That's-
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
no,
know
that's
if
some
anybody,
hold my pocket shit.
And
right there.
he continued to heckle all night. He was very vocal, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but like I invited that poltergeist in, you know.
Oh, yeah, you did. You
I-
asked for
brought
it.
that
I was the Ouija board that encouraged him
Yes,
for a second.
yes. He's
I
like,
think-
now I have a place to speak.
Yeah, no,
with
he
you."
had a foothold.
I don't know.
Where
if we're
were
gonna,
we
But
Yeah.
he wasn't. It was octopus.
Octopus.
That was at the last. Not the. It was at the
It
last.
was
mic.
at the last one.
Last
Yeah.
mi- yeah,
It was
that's
Ooh,
what
this is
Larry.
recent.
It
Yeah.
was Larry.
Yeah, that does sound like a Larry thing to say.
It's not.
It's not Larry.
He's not bigger than
It's not
anybody. But-
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my god.
It was some dude I've never seen before
Yeah.
or since.
yeah, but he was a good. He was a good. Good.
Thank you
like,
for coming.
Good
Oh my
audience. I mean,
God.
yes, he
Right.
he interjected here and there, but he
Right,
was,
yeah, no, he
was
wasn't,
harmless.
like,
It wasn't
relatively
obnoxious.
harmless.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
But
it
he wasn't disrupting in terms of like comedians.
No.
Like we, I mean, again, everyone's gonna have their own experiences with it, but like over the last 8 years, somebody has to do quite a bit for me to kind of put it on my radar as like malicious or bad. Like, so I don't know. I've seen like a few shows. Like it wasn't like done to me, but like a dude in the audience thought that every rhetorical thing was like an actual
Real question.
question to him,
Oh, God.
where he would be like, "Yeah," because like one time my kids, like the comedian would be like, "Has anybody ever had it where their wife was doing this?" And he's like, "Yeah, my wife would actually," and then like the dude would start talking, and then like yeah, there was no yeses or or there was no hallelujahs. Like it was like the dude was not a hype man. He was like, "Oh yeah, this is a two-way comment." And yeah, and the dude was warned 4 times about it. Like it was like, hey, like, we don't actually want to hear. I've got a rhythm. We're not here to interview you. Like only the person with the microphone speaks. And like the dude was like, okay, got it. But then the comedian would be like, anyway. So I was walking to the store. He's like, yeah, we got fairways in my area.
That is so funny. That is something I
Right.
do a lot. I
just
do
in
that
my
a
head.
lot.
Yeah.
I will say when I see comedians pipe up during other people's shows, I'm like, comedians should know better. Like don't.
And
Unless
then every
you're- I
time
would say-
afterwards, I'm like, oh shit.
Unless you're addressed directly, like if I was in the audience and you were like, Dave, this,
Right.
then of course I'm
If a
gonna
comedian
answer
is
you.
addressed, it's like, okay, that is your time. Like they're giving you license to like try to steal their thunder. Like if you're off stage and you can like that's fine. But
Right.
like if you just pipe in or chime in with like an actual answer, yeah, that's something that people in the biz of all people.
I just want to say I'm in the biz, and
You are the biz.
that's not my fault. if someone asks questions,
We should start writing down
I'm
some
gonna
of the
answer.
we should start writing down some of the unwritten rules so that way Summer can catch
Right.
up.
That's what we
Please
should. That's what we should put on our
help.
first T-shirt.
I think that happens to me a lot, and then I'm like, oh, I don't.
If we
think they
if we
like
could sell a
that.
bunch of shower beers T-shirts that had like the 10 unwritten rules of comedy shows on the back, and people started wearing them to the shows,
Yeah.
then every row would be reading them, and then the show would be perfect.
Oh my
Right.
god.
I'm trying to think of any other times because like I've had just people be loud and yelling, and like it's also bad audiences or bad audience members have largely not been a part of what I've been doing for a while. I will say, if you asked me this question a few years ago, I would have had many
I was
more.
gonna say,
like,
Sure.
If you would have asked me pre-pandemic, I would have had about 100 different answers at the ready, but I've forgotten about most of them.
Yeah.
I would say, actually, both of you were the show we did in Iowa Falls. Probably
Yeah.
the first time we were at the 503. Were
Yeah.
you-
Oh yeah, that
So
one
someone
guy.
was at it.
You were
I
out-
was on it.
right.
The one
So do
guy
you
kept
remember the
talking.
old toothless guy that was sitting on the far side of their bar that was yelling at me during my set?
Yeah, because
Constantly.
But I couldn't understand what he was saying,
Yeah.
so I just kept saying yes, I agree, and then I eventually said I've answered yes to all your questions.
What else do you
Like,
want?
what do I need to say to end this conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do I need to say to end this conversation? No, because again, that was really funny.
Yes.
It was a really difficult show. It was actually the show that made me think I want to book Dave now.
Oh.
Like I'd watched Dave for about a year, and like Dave was good, but I was like there's a
Shows are different.
shows are different. Dave was always very good, but like there's a bar that I'm like. And that show showed, I was like, oh, I've been
Yeah,
underestimating Dave for a hot
You
second.
took control of the crowd, I think, in a good, positive way.
But like that line single-handedly made me just go, oh, he's fine. I can put him up in any room with the like, and Dave is going to fight back.
Yeah.
I
Dave,
don't.
Yes.
I really don't
Well.
mind the heckling. It's just as long as I can understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like I don't. If I can't understand what you're saying, I'll probably not acknowledge you unless you don't stop.
that's funny.
Yeah.
I will say at the last mic here, we had that table of ladies sitting here, and the one lady was from, let's say, Oregon or Washington or something, Washington State,
Wisconsin.
or was it Wisconsin?
Totally.
No, I think it was out west. I'm pretty sure it was. Like, it might have been. I think it was Washington State.
It was Washington.
And so she moved here, and then I had asked her, what did you move here for? and she said what she actually said was divorce, and what I thought she said was the forest. So it was like funny for me because I was like, fuck these trees. Like I can't stand the forest here. Like I need to be in flat land. But those are fun though. Like that was a fun moment with those. And I don't know. I was kind of like harebrained in between jokes, and I was like, I'm just gonna talk to somebody quick to get back on track.
Right.
And it worked out, but. I really haven't had to. I think my jokes are just weird enough that people are like, I don't want to comment.
No,
You don't want attention on
Yeah, they're
themselves.
like, I don't want to be the guy that also does
No,
this.
you'll get them at a show that's properly rowdy and the audience is not properly prepared for what the fuck is going on.
Right.
Like
Well,
a
the
host
first,
that tells people like, "Hey, this is a performance,
Yeah.
not an interaction."
Yeah.
Like,
well, in the first Cooper show, I would say the crowd was pretty rowdy.
It's a little rowdy.
It was loud in there.
It was very loud.
They were all excited. Great crowd. Like I'm not. There was nothing wrong with the crowd,
Yeah.
other than that they were just like, we're gonna talk to like whatever we can.
everyone was individually quiet. However,
Right.
when there's that many people,
Right.
but like, yeah, there was no like loud voices that were.
Mhm.
If there's a crowd like that, you literally have to just like get in their bubble. That's what
Right.
makes
I
it
give 'em the
good.
stink
Is if
eye,
you get
just
in their
like,
bubble.
Will you please be quiet?
You
They-
specifically
Right.
engage with
And
them.
like I even said it last night. I'm like, if anybody in the audience can't hear or is having trouble enjoying the show because of somebody being too loud behind them, politely tell them to shut the fuck up.
Which
Like,
I
Right.
love.
I just stare 'em
I
down.
use that
I like to
a
do
lot.
the thing where
that was given to me by another road dog of a comedian where I'm just
Road
like, I
dog.
will use that every time that I host, where you can tell the
Right.
audience to tell each other to shut
Yeah,
up.
that's-
So that way you can still be the cool guy.
Yes, yeah.
You've made yourself the good cop and they're the bad
Right.
cop. They're policing
Mhm.
themselves.
well, yeah, and I feel like if it's ever been like somebody I can tell is just loud at a table, like I feel like I'll just say something to them, and that stops the conversation
Mm.
and puts a little bit of a spotlight on them. So then they're just like, oh, we should like,
Right.
Have
But
read-
you can get some drunk ones. Very drunk.
Excuse me, what'd you say, Courtney? What'd you say?
Crazy hecklers or anything crazy?
I have. Thank you for asking. I think one of my favorite like heckles was at the AmVets in Cedar Falls,
Oh gosh.
and there was like a bunch of like bikers beforehand, and I was trying to like get comfortable with the crowd, right? So I'm like chit chatting beforehand, and so when I started, I said I've always wanted to be part of a gangbang, but I didn't think it would be a gang like this. And it was a bunch of like biker gang people, and then I started talking about my glasses.
You make small talk in the weirdest ways.
she really does. She really does.
I've never once been like, oh, a bunch of Asian chicks go over there, and I'm just like,
Yes,
hey, ladies,
gang
I
members.
have yellow fever. Like,
Yeah.
I've never been like, I want to fuck this group of people as my hello. Thanks for coming to the show. Would anyone like to fill any or all of my holes?
It might be
It's like,
different
hello.
from a woman to a man, from a man to a woman.
Yeah.
And
That's also a crowd that is not like they were not expecting to hear that from a woman.
no, nobody was
Also,
expecting that,
probably
no.
not expecting to hear it from a man, but like
No, they,
definitely not from because you have a vibe about you that's
Mhm.
like disarming,
Very disarming,
like just a naive sort of sweet girl vibe.
super
then
innocent,
there's-
innocent, sweet.
but then she
yeah.
talks about gangbang.
And then the word
Gangbanger.
gangbang came out of your mouth, and they're like, "Oh, you
And
can't,
then
you can't say
I
that."
said, I said something about my glasses, and I don't remember what I was gonna say, but somebody yelled out, "Cunt catchers!"
Oh yeah!
Oh my
And I
god.
said, "What? What?
Oh my god!
Cum catchers?
Yeah, that's what they
Did they
call
say
it.
cum catcher?
Yeah,
I-
they said
yeah.
it was cum catcher.
Yeah.
It was
Oh
cum
my
catchers,
God.
but then I changed
Yes,
it.
because-
It depends on the
I was just-
situation.
I was just-
Why would they be cunt catchers?
If you're
Summer.
the
Did
man
you say
and
cunt
you have
catcher?
glasses, and they're
Cum catcher.
And you just like are doing a scooping motion with the.
I
Where
can't do
is your
it.
mouth?
I almost was
If
about.
if that's where your glasses are.
This is
Where
what
is your
happens in
mouth?
gangbangs, didn't you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for the
Glasses are
gangbang.
the main.
Summer, draw a gangbang. It will show it to the
It looks like an octopus.
What do you think?
No callback there.
Yeah, no, like this is
I
just a-
remember that. I remember that, Mike, because
You
it
were
was.
there because then you said it. You said the C word.
I probably said cunt,
No,
Yeah, I just saw those every time there. I think I've been like,
It was so good.
"Are you fuckers gonna laugh now or what?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think that I had something like where somebody yelled out something about a lesbian in a canoe while I was on stage.
Yeah.
And it was like
I
mildly.
know the person who yelled that.
Yeah,
at
yeah,
me.
I know who it was.
Somebody had mildly brought it up because like somebody had said it earlier in the night, but they said it during my set for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Kind of a free fill.
No,
there.
that room was interesting.
Yes.
But also,
very
I'm
much.
starting to think that the alien that Courtney saw was a flying Rorschach test, where it's just whatever
Could
you
be.
want it to
Yeah.
It
be.
could
Dave
be.
saw an owl.
I
You
could
saw an
be.
octopus. I see my parents fighting up in the sky. It's like,
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Summer's getting
We're
a
gonna
lady.
clip that.
Summer just gets a lady boner when she sees it.
she sees Rena Calm.
Yeah.
Catch her on a podcast someday.
Yes, that is.
We
a
could
lady
probably
boner.
We could reach out at
we
least.
could probably try to do like another like do an actual comedy show and be on the podcast
We
beforehand.
should. She
Yeah, that'd be
was
fantastic.
just in
Just get it all in
Ames.
because she's traveling here. Might
She
as well
travels
just-
a lot.
I was gonna
She's
say I don't have her
mean.
contacts, but
I have messaged her before
I
about
can
buying some of
message
her
her.
merch, and she
Oh,
does
okay.
respond.
oh, she's got great merch.
Oh, yes. I
She
still have her
I
stuff,
have her
her stickers
a
and
coffee
stuff.
mug. I have a coffee mug of hers that says "Don't talk to me until I've had my morning orgasm."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh nice.
Don't-
Stickers.
Don't talk to me until I've had my morning orgasm. And she also has joke books. And I have 2 bathrooms in my house, and the joke books are sitting in each of them. I was going to give one of them as a gift, but then I thought I have 2 places to poop.
Yeah. I need jokes in both spots.
Yeah. Well, I also just kind of stopped kind of going on dates with the gal I was going to give it to, and I thought, you know, this is a more appropriate resting place for
Right.
a gift.
Right.
A gift to somebody that I liked.
Well, do we have any more
There-
questions?
there
Or,
is
I
a
mean, we've
third
got
one
a
that we
we've
can
got a
end
good
on. I have
amount of
another
time
question.
on camera
there
right
is
now.
a third one that
Oh,
we
yeah,
can
we
end
got it.
on, and then
Yep,
we can
yep.
do
That's
our
what we got to
thing.
do it.
Cor-
Can I sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, I interrupted. We should just do a segment called Courtney's Question, and then just make her give us
I
a
have
question.
lots of questions.
I don't know if you guys have heard me do stand up at
Yeah.
all, but I have talked about her incessant questioning. One of them is, why isn't it working? And then in parentheses is, you idiot.
You idiot.
That's you. That's your thought.
Mhm.
It's the
Projection.
vibe.
or you guys are like waiting for like DoorDash, and Courtney asks, when are they going to be here? Parentheses, you should know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that happens, actually. That whole
Oh
thing. She's
my
like, when's the
God.
food going to be here?
Instead, you should
When
think,
it
oh,
fucking
maybe
gets
she
here."
thinks I'm good at fixing things, and that's why she's asking.
The implication has never been there.
She's Dave's not receiving. It's because you believe in me. It's
Yeah.
because you believe so little
Yes, yes.
Oh my
That's
God.
how he
Yeah.
perceives it.
in me. When's
The
food gonna
implication
be here?
is
Okay.
the implication is I want to believe in you. That's what it is. But it's like, but I still can't.
Oh my god.
When's the food going to be here? In parentheses, you remembered to actually order.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Parentheses.
Here's the thing: they could totally
This-
mess up my order as long as her food's there. That's the thing. It's like she's like, "Oh, yours is upside down. Sorry, but mine's really good."
Yours is pristine.
I'm a hangry person.
All right.
Yep.
What's the last
let's
question?
The
fire
last
up that
question from Courtney Fry was, who was your very first favorite comedian?
Yeah.
And right, like, so Dimitri Martin was my first like favorite comedian. A
Love
lot
him.
of visual gags, a lot of
Super
verbal,
funny.
like
Visual stuff's funny.
and yeah, like a lot of like one-liners and stuff like that. Really, really, really far ahead of like the memes and kind of like the
Oh yeah.
quick, witty things that like, honestly is just all over the internet now. But
Mhm.
like a huge amount of it was just coming from one person. He's legitimately incredible genius.
Yes,
He's
he
written
is.
the world's longest palindrome. Which, if you don't know what a palindrome is, it's something that is the same front as it is backwards.
Oh yeah.
So he wrote like a big story called "Damn It, I'm Mad," which
it's the
is
same backward. Yeah.
Yeah, so damn it, I'm mad. And it's absolutely nutter butter that
I'll
it
have to
actually
check that
makes sense, and it's the same front word, the entire story from front.
Who
to
He's
back.
got a lot of time on his
Dimitri
hands.
Martin.
Dimitri did that?
Yeah, Dimitri Martin. Yeah, the person we're talking about. You silly
Larry.
you nugget. She's like, I've had 4 Captain and Cokes. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I love him. I love his paper.
Oh, I know his big notepad. I've actually like thought of jokes before where I'm like, oh, you should do visual stuff like that because I love that part of it.
Right. It's really hard to enter, and it takes a lot
It
of
is.
prep work.
Yes.
It takes a lot of extra stuff.
I don't think I have it in me to do.
It's hard to get that kind of humor over too. It's like not easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Summer, who's your first and favorite comic?
My first comedic experience that I can recall, like being like, "Oh yeah, that's funny," and I'm like replicating it to my mom is like Stuart from Mad TV. Like,
yes. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
So good.
Yeah, I always forget about Mad TV.
Mad TV was just the best.
Right. No, Mad TV.
I
is
miss
like-
it so much.
But like that, so that's like sketch comedy. But do you have like any
Yeah.
stand-up comedians?
Heroes.
oh, I feel a little bad. My first, I was not into stand up before my boyfriend showed me stand up. So like,
Yeah, no, this doesn't have to be a deep pull or an old name.
Okay. I don't know. Okay.
What about you, DJ?
Yeah, Summer's
Yeah.
Uh,
Switch it to somebody else.
Just
While
take
Summer's
some
coming
time.
down from the LSD, we apparently
Yeah,
put
she-
inside.
Summer's actually the octopus drone. I don't know if you know that.
It's me.
Well, I'd already mentioned Dave Chappelle, and he's a stand-up, and he's like, but I don't think that like he's a comedic influence for me. He influenced me to like want to do it, but I don't think that my
Right,
jokes
well,
are
well,
similar to like
I'm
what.
nothing like Dimitri Martin. so,
Right,
like,
right, yeah. But I would say a huge one for me that I absolutely love is Tom Segura.
Sounds.
Like I've listened to all of his
I
stuff.
like Bert. Fuck
Bert
Tom.
Kreischer.
Give me
I
Bert.
like Tom a lot.
Sure
And I would
enough.
say if I could choose to emulate a comedian, I would emulate Tom Segura.
Right.
But I will say this: there is, I think, if you take out the levels of comedy, so like if we're going to talk about people we actually do stuff with too, you know, or like have been on shows with, or like more local,
Sure.
or more on the regional level. I absolutely love Dan Alton.
He's super
He's
funny.
super-
He's
he's-
so funny.
Yes,
So
he
wacky.
made
He's
it.
just wacky, and he just brings a different energy that you don't see very like.
No.
There are people that are as funny or funnier than him, but nobody really brings the jokes and energy sort of like he does.
It's a whole act.
It's an
he's-
experience.
he's got a good
It's an
stage
experience.
Whole act.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
No, seeing him live and seeing him multiple times is a trip.
yeah.
And he's coming through again this year.
I think so. Yeah. Has he got Octopus? I don't have him here, but maybe.
I
He was
thought
about
that you had
this
another
little
booking
ago.
for him.
We were looking at something for the end of July, but it didn't work out.
Oh yeah, because
Um,
July happened already.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah, that would be the two. You know that not so much an influence from.
But do you have like a first, like little baby Dave,
Yeah,
like
very
Oh,
first.
5 years old?
100%.
But
Dave
it can't
Chappelle.
be Mad TV.
Dave Chappelle.
100%. Yeah, I mean, because he did, even the Chappelle Show's sketch comedy. I love that, and I will say, I will not add to Summer's Mad TV. I always forget about it, but
Jim Carrey.
I absolutely loved Mad TV.
I did.
Yeah.
I
too.
loved
I
Bobby
I was
Lee.
so sad.
Bobby
when
Lee
it
at
was
Mad
gone.
TV.
Bob-
Was so,
Yes.
I saw Bobby Lee and the
Oh,
whole Bad
yeah.
Friends podcast live about a year ago.
Oh, that's he listens to that all
my
the time.
God.
Bobby Lee's awesome. I love
Bobby
him.
was funny. Andrew Santino was
Yes, he's
hilarious.
hilarious.
Having Jet Ski Johnson. Oh my God, literally filled my heart. She's just a young female comedian just like me. And
good. Summer, do you have anyone? We I don't know if we ever got another one out of you.
the first comedian I saw was Dave Chappelle.
Oh, nice.
It was at an Andrew Yang like political thing, and Dave Chappelle just happened to be there supporting, and he did a comedy show, and it was so good. He had Donnell Rawlings there with him.
He's so funny.
Also hilarious. So good.
Nice.
All right,
So
Courtney,
good.
what do you got?
Courtney.
Mine is definitely Brian Regan.
Brian.
I-
Brian Regan.
Love his
Yeah.
stuff.
He's a legend.
It's clean
He's
comedy.
very clean.
Yes.
He's Courtney.
It's absolutely hilarious. Very clean comedy. So I remember this is back in the day when you'd still like buy DVDs and stuff. So like I had a lot of my favorite comedians on DVDs, and like that was one that I felt comfortable watching with my family because my
Yeah.
family's really into clean comedy, and we would just die laughing. He's so funny.
No, we had a clip of his at work. Like there was like one of his routines. I don't remember what it was, but like they showed it at work because it was like making some type of point. I think it might have been customer service related,
Mhm.
but like yeah, no, Brian Regan is great, and especially clean comedy that doesn't suck.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because sometimes when people do clean comedy,
It's
you're just like,
boring. It's,
oh yeah, this is tasteless.
It's when
Yeah.
it feels intentionally clean.
It's like it's the gray paste like comparison to
Right.
food where you're like technically this qualifies, but it's not very.
Well, it's like they're saying poop instead of shit. Like it's not.
we saw
Like
him.
Brian, his jokes just aren't dirty joke. Like he just has great jokes,
Yeah.
and you can tell there's some comedians who are like, I'm a clean
Well-
comedian, but they still talk about stuff that isn't what I would consider clean content.
Yeah,
But they just do it in a way that maybe they don't
Right.
swear or they say like bad, pussy or dick, and
Balls.
but
balls.
then balls and so it seems like it's sort of too catered almost. Like they're really trying to be clean, and Brian just
Well,
comes off like he's just that. Like I have never met him. I don't know him, but I would guess
we
he
saw
is.
him a few months ago.
Yeah, we did.
And his
Yep.
stuff is still
And
really
I would
good.
guess he's very similar to the person he is on stage.
Well, it reminds me
Yes.
of so a clean comedian needs to focus on the comedy first.
Yes.
The same
Right.
way that a dirty comedian needs to think about the comedy first. Because if you're dirty just to be dirty, then it's probably not funny,
It's
and
not
it's going to be
funny
funny
at all.
accidentally at
right,
best.
and you'll be
I've seen
at
that.
like
Yeah, we
it'll
all
just
have.
borderline like disgusting. Like
Yeah.
it's,
Right, but like a dirty comedy is funny because of the comedy aspect, not because
Yes,
of the
not
dirty
because-
aspect.
Yes.
Right.
And same with
exactly.
clean comedy. You don't really get bonus points for it being like, oh, I could, show my neighbor this. It's got to be actually funny.
Yeah.
Right.
But then
Absolutely.
clean is the adjective, not the operating part of the
right,
sentence.
right.
But yeah, no, Brian Regan's great.
Yeah, we went and saw him earlier this year, and I saw him a number of years ago.
I had seen him too before.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many big names live. I've seen Brian Regan, Nate Bargatze. I've seen him too. He's also another
shit.
clean comic that's like
Yeah.
Every
Very,
time
very
you get
funny.
to see a live comedian do it, I saw Louis twice. No, I saw Louis once before the shit went down, and then twice after because I don't give a shit.
No.
Yeah.
And then I saw Taylor Tomlinson, and she's one of my favorites in the world.
Oh
She's amazing. And then I've seen Kyle Kinane twice.
yeah.
So yeah, I can absolutely recommend. Yeah, Taylor Tomlinson is an all-time favorite for me.
Yeah.
She's younger than all of us here.
That's
Yes.
Take that
also
in
who I
for a
want
second.
on the podcast. Taylor
Right.
Tomlinson. Let's
Yeah.
bring
Yeah,
her
no,
on.
I want her.
Period.
Yeah.
I want her, period.
on period. Off
That's a
period.
sentence.
Taylor's the best.
All right. Well, we got anything else?
That's the end of the questions, and the podcast, I believe, is gone a pretty full
we
episode even
have
with the technical difficulties.
about
Yeah.
7 clips that I'll have to put together. But
It's gonna be fun.
we've so far been good here. I think.
Yeah, something about like the
I
last
think,
time that you plugged and unplugged
yeah,
it
I'll
back
talk
in.
about it when we're off camera. But yeah, I think that was a good show.
Yeah.
Thanks
Um,
thank you, Courtney, for being our guest.
And
Thank
thank
you
you to the
guys.
law for having us and moving us over to
Yes,
this beautiful window.
we've got-
Yes.
it makes us look a lot better. Like it's
It's
like
so-
we're in a big.
We're in a
city.
big city.
if you know what to
Big
do
city with big
Big
titties,
city with shower
yeah.
mirrors.
It's beautiful.
Well, cheers, the shower beers. Thank you. And
Cheers. See you next time.
We'll see you next time.